everybody? It's your girl, Sherry. Welcome back to another episode of Alleged Actually Podcast. I am joined tonight by my Bravo Bestie, Joey. What's up, Joey?
Hello.
Hello. So, guys, welcome. If you're new here, what we do over here is reality TV recaps. Occasionally, we get into some pop culture segments. So if that's your thing, you found your home, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell because occasionally we give you a bonus episode here or there. We switch up a day, so you'll be the first to know. Make sure you share with a friend and slide in our comments, please. We love to hear from you guys. We really do. And let us know what you thought about the shows we're recapping, the thoughts that we had, all the things. And please like this video. Listen, YouTube is tripping. It's a free way to support our channel and help us be pushed through the algorithm. So yes, please like this video. And so if you are here tonight, you are in for a treat. We are going to be talking Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 6 reunion. We're going to wrap it up with part 3. We're also going to get into a little bit of Potomac. You know, everybody's talking about the ladies in red and those looks.
They were some looks, all right.
Were they not? Okay.
A lot of misses.
And then you guys got to watch till the end because I am going to chop it up with my Bravo Bestie on some Traitors. Honey, we got stuff to talk about. Just saying. I was hurt that we got one episode, though. I knew it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, I know. But you know what gets me is, and again, we're jumping ahead, but Alan Cummings on that interview said that the next episode tomorrow night is his favorite of all time. Something happens that he's never happened before, blah, blah. So help me God if they pull like a Bravo thing and like let us down.
Surely not, because there's so much at stake, and y'all, when we get to it, I got so much to say. I just do. I am so loving Traitors, y'all. If y'all are not watching, good Lord, go ahead and get caught up. Come on.
I know.
I got friends that don't watch reality at all that are all up in Traitors.
What a sad life.
Well, isn't that a sad life? I got a text, from another podcast that I worked with in the past, and he was so proud. He was like, Sherry, I just want to let you know, I watch Traitors and I love it. I'm thinking, you're all right.
All you need is one gateway show.
I'm just saying, welcome to our world.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's talk Real Housewives of Potomac and these ladies in red. I'm going to pull up a picture of all the ladies, and then we're going to talk about who got it wrong, who got it right. I will say this. No, remove her. She's one that got it wrong. All right. These are all the ladies, okay? Now, let me say this. I do love a cohesive look. And
fair.
Yeah, like sometimes when we do a reunion, I don't understand what we're going for. Like even Salt Lake City. I know when maybe we were trying to do a Grecian theme, but were we? Because like Angie K, who is the Greek goddess of them all, her dress was not reminiscent of Greece. I didn't know what we were doing there. Everybody had a different thing going on.
It wasn't at all cohesive.
No, and I think Miami was the same thing. I was really confused. But I dig a nice cohesive, a red, and a lot of times OC will do a color, and and they'll usually stick with the theme. I dig. Okay, so we're doing red. Okay. Overall, as a cast, I will say it looks good. I mean, the red pops. Let's be clear. We got brown girls with red on. It's just a popping. I mean, it just is. It is. But all right, Joey. Which one do you want to do? You want to talk about who got it wrong or who got it right first?
I mean, we're gonna spend a lot less time on who got it right. So, I mean,
true tea. All right, let me put up a picture here, and I'm gonna get your thoughts. Okay. I love her, but what in the Warrior Princess is going on?
Who are you talking about? I can't see it. It's not coming up for me.
It's not coming up for you? Oh, it's Monique. Oh no, you can't see it?
Oh, so you know what? No, I can't, but it's fine because I can talk about Monique. I don't
Okay.
understand what's happening. What in like the geometry class is going on? I didn't understand. Let me tell you, this season, it might have been that weird like Whoville thing she did during her like confessional. Might have
Yes,
been one of like the worst confessional looks I've like ever seen in my entire life.
absolutely.
And now you're gonna come out at the reunion I don't know what's happening. It's not good, and I don't enjoy it. It's not visually appealing whatsoever, and no one can sit next to you.
No, my God. I mean, you have to
No.
have like a wingspan of at least, 6
Yeah.
feet so that
We
you know
need
what I
we
mean?
need those those COVID separation chairs again. I mean,
I
what is
swear.
I just don't understand. Like, you looked in the mirror and you were like, you know what? This is it. This is my return look. Like, what?
I have no idea what is going on here. And she is a beautiful woman. Um,
Beautiful.
God. And like, I'm thinking, okay, maybe a Met Gala look. If there was a theme, you could have pulled that. But for this reunion, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, no.
All right, next one up. And I hope you can see this, Joy. I don't know why you can't see it.
Just give me the name. I have them all.
Okay. So now we're going to go with Tia. Please.
No, absolutely not.
Why would a woman wear a dress that adds 5 feet to your hips on one side? I mean, ma'am.
And what's funny is, like, I love a good cutout moment, This was not that moment.
I just don't know what she was trying to achieve
Me
here.
either. And it makes me sad because, like, again, beautiful. And I really, really like her. This look is just not it. No.
It's not. It's not. And I wanted it for her, but I was like, what? It's so unflattering. I mean, your
That's what it
stylist,
is. That's what it
very.
is.
It's so
Yeah.
unflattering.
And I felt like all season long, she had like really good style.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, so you wait until your first reunion to just come out looking all kinds of wrong?
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
That's happened.
All right, so I'm putting up here now Miss Jazzy. A shame. And some people say it's angle driven, but I just say it's just the dress is wrong.
It's angle driven. I mean,
yeah,
the dress is a mess, and also the most off theme.
completely off theme. It looks like her best, like, I don't know, like a friend made it for her. That's, it just looks so wrong. Jazzy, you know what I mean? And Jazzy is a fashion girl. I mean, she's normally together. I mean, she's a wag. I mean, no, ma'am.
In the words of Luann de Lesseps, money can't buy you class. I mean, that dress is a mess.
It's a disaster.
I know.
Guys, please weigh in on the comments and let us know your thoughts. Were these as much a disaster to y'all as they are to us? Everybody else to me, I think, was fair. I can't stand Giselle, so she could put on the most gorgeous dress and I'd hate it.
I didn't like love or hate hers. It was not her best look, but it was certainly not her worst look.
It wasn't. The off shoulder. I don't know. Giselle just doesn't get it right a lot with fashion anyway. She's not a fashion girl. I mean, she's what they call a pretty girl. I know back in the day that was her thing, her beauty, but she's getting older and she's going to have to relax on some of that because that neck, Candace is right. Go away, neck. That neck is telling us something. You know what I mean? But
I gotta be honest, I also didn't really like Kay's.
No, me neither. And Kay usually does come with the nice fashions and stuff. And Kay is so cute, but
she's beautiful. I don't understand it.
Pretty. I know.
And I also feel like it just needs to be said at some point, like, Ashley, we get it. You like to be sexy. Like, put some clothes on.
Oh, Ashley gives bimbo every day. I'm so sick of it. You know what I mean? Bimbo. You know what I mean? And it's tired. You have 2 sons. You've been on the show a while. Can you give us something else? We don't want 6 kitten bimbo. We're over it. You know what I mean?
It's just we don't.
No, take your forehead and let's give me something different next season. But we're gonna talk about who did get it right.
Yeah,
Good gracious.
the other four, I honestly am like here for.
All of it. Karen looked amazing.
Karen looked
Stacy looked
amazing.
amazing. Stacy looked stunning per usual.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Who am I leaving out? Well, our
Angel.
queen here. Angel rocked that, honey, and that was good to me, honey, because she's a thicker girl.
Right, but she did the opposite of what our girl Tia did, whereas Tia wore something super unflattering, I felt.
She did.
Whereas Angel, like I thought she looked amazing. I loved everything about it. I loved like the fur accent, shawlish thing, whatever it is. I just loved it all. I loved it all. I thought she looked great.
Yes. I mean, it fit her body just perfectly, and it was so flattering, and she looked so beautiful, and I was like here for all of it. She deserved a good look for the reunion. She did. She totally did.
After that finale, she deserves something.
I mean, right? But y'all, the best look has to go to none other than Wendy Osefo. Ma'am, that red dress just glided over your body like it was meant to go over your skin. I
know. What a shame it comes on the heels of an awful time for her.
What a good season for her, and what a freaking shame, right, Joey?
What a great I liked her more this season than I ever have in the past.
Same. And I have always since her transformation, because when she first came on, she had a little work to do. But honey, since she came into herself, Wendy gives all the time, except for the Michelin Man outfit that she did. Most times, Wendy is on point. And God, this was no different. Oh my gosh.
No, she's beautiful. She's amazing.
Yeah. So you guys, please weigh in and let us know who your favorite looks were. Everybody's talking about the looks. I mean, not sure what it is, because we normally do that when a reunion drops, but they released them and everybody's talking about them. So if they're talking, we're going to be talking too.
Yeah.
Give our little opinions. But I was just like, okay. Loved it. Now, so we do know that Sunday we get the one-on-one with Karen and Andy. Super duper excited.
Yeah.
Things I've heard, and we haven't watched this, we got to see. It's looking like we won't get our typical grande dame, the one that doesn't hold, herself accountable. Looking like we're going to get some humility and some transparency. I'm here for it. Stacey has seen it. She was on Watch What Happens Live, and she was saying, how really good it was, how Andy asked all the questions that, even though she's spoken to Karen, that she thinks that all of us would want the answers to. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm just super excited. I'm excited for her to be back on TV. I've always been a huge Karen Huger fan. I think that she makes the show. She's so funny. And I not that I'm excusing what she did at all, but I feel like it's obviously a much different scenario in my eyes than I don't know, defrauding elderly people. I mean, I don't know,
same.
I just I'm thrilled to hear that we're gonna get a different Karen that is gonna maybe come in and take accountability, and that's what we need.
Exactly what we need.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for it, to be honest.
Completely excited. And you guys, so I'm talking to Joey off camera. The scene that we got to see in the finale when she is filmed leaving the jail, y'all, and to a lot of y'all, maybe this won't matter, but she has braids in her hair. And so she has a scarf on, and the braids are neat and whatever. So I come to find out in things that came out about that scene, that the ladies in jail took their braid hair out and braided it into her hair. Y'all, listen. I was so moved. Okay, and y'all can weigh in the comments, but listen, let me tell you something. That is an act of kindness that I can't give. I'm not taking this out and give it to nobody. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that these women thought that much of Karen because they knew she'd be filmed and Karen is vain. Because I was wondering, I was like, y'all, is she gonna come out rocking cornrows? Is she gonna come out with a fro? Like, that's not Karen's, and there's nothing wrong with that. A natural girl, I mean, nothing wrong with that, child. I love my natural hair. I'm just saying, I don't typically wear my natural hair, and neither does she. But y'all, I thought, okay, so she must have been in jail making some real connections with these ladies, and she probably was okay. And I'm sure she learned a lot, grew a lot, all those things, you know what I mean? But y'all, especially my ladies, my sisters that you know what I'm saying, slide in the comments, and I want to know what you're thinking, like, because don't y'all think that was like hugely kind? I mean, seriously, because that means for whatever time these ladies have left, they don't have their braid hair in. So they're going to be walking around, because you cannot have a wig. I don't think they allow you to have sew-ins. I didn't know they let you even have braid hair in, but I guess, it's jail. She wasn't in prison, so but yeah, how kind. But they definitely took Karen's wig, because when she, was in, they took her from court and took that wig off. So
right.
Yeah. So that was really kind. Just a thought, just a side thought. But y'all, that took me out of the game. I was like, dang. Just saying. But yeah, and so also we know that for the reunion, Karen is going to be there. And some people are wondering why. I feel like she wasn't at the last reunion. We know that Andy's going to interview her, but this is maybe her time to let the ladies ask what they want to ask and her interact with the ladies. Yeah, we'll see.
I honestly, now that you say that, I really didn't. That wasn't even really on like my radar. You're right, though. Like, why is she at the reunion?
A lot of people are wondering. Because it could have stopped at the one-on-one and been done, because she really wasn't on the season. Right. But my take is that, this is a chance for particularly her and Wendy to spar, because, Wendy felt very hurt by her videos when she talked about who supported her and omitted Wendy, when Wendy was seemingly thought she was being a really good friend to Karen. And I'm sure they're trying to make for a good reunion. I don't know, how much we're going to do. We've done enough of the Mean Girl stuff. Angel doesn't stand up for herself. You know what I mean? So Karen is a good ad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And then Stacey, stuff that she's like Teflon Don, and she don't care. So.
Oh my God. I just like love her. And people online are like, she's a liar. How could she have fans? And I'm like, I don't know. Are her lies like damaging? Like, I don't think so. Like, I absolutely cannot get enough of her.
Yes, I think that she definitely lies. But I think that she handles it so well, and she just brings something different. And particularly to that cast, they need her. I mean,
yeah,
they do. So, and Andy absolutely adores her. So y'all, she ain't going nowhere. She's not. Nor is Giselle, much to my sadness. But that's a topic for another day. Okay. All right, Joey. What we're here to talk about tonight is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, the season 6 reunion part 3. What did you think of part 3?
I thought it was okay. A lot of emotions going on. Like, this cast is a hot mess, and they deserve to not be filming and take a break and maybe go on like a vacation and maybe like, I don't know, like they need a break. I was trying to think like the last time I saw a reunion where like everybody was like really like a hot mess. I mean, everybody was like in tears except for like what, like Angie and Mary.
Well, Mary had a little shed of a tear over production. She did.
Oh, I'll get to the production part. Don't you worry. I have plenty to say about that. But I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't bad.
Right. I mean, your typical wrap up. I mean, there wasn't a ton resolved. So unfortunate for that. I mean, but with them, they had drawn lines in the sand. I didn't expect it to be. So
Yeah.
yeah. But we kind of start off where we left off from part 2 with Brittany's storm off.
I'm still
And
pissed about it.
yeah. So so she storms off. And then when she's left behind, um Angie tells Andy, like, you see how she is, right? This is how she was on the plane. And Meredith was like, yep. And my point is, you see, I didn't pull her hair. I didn't pour any wine on her. All I did was call her out on what she did. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, they have
That's
different
not
accounts.
at all what happened, Meredith.
No, not at all. So when Andy was like, look, she took the post down, Heather interjects and like, she did the right thing. And
okay, hold on. I have to say something because I'm going to say this a lot and sound like a broken record, and people are going to be like, we get it. You hate Heather. So I was screaming at my TV like the entire time, being like, Heather, just shut up, because like
agreed.
This woman had absolutely no storyline this season. She brought absolutely nothing to the show besides removing her old stained mattress out of her house. I mean, think about it, right? Think about all 3 parts. There was no real segment where Andy spoke with Heather because she had nothing going on.
Literally nothing.
But she also knows she had nothing going on. So she was trying to interject herself in any moment that she could and talking over people. And I was just screaming, like, Heather, shut up.
I know. It was
so annoying and so over the top. Like, if I didn't hate her before, oh my Lanta. I mean, she is the worst of the worst.
Agreed. I mean, and it was like so unnecessary, so unwarranted, had no reason for her to even say anything.
About anything. You weren't involved in anything. You did nothing this season. You could have been a producer for all we know. I mean, Lord knows you're trying to sell.
I was about to say, she sure tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, ugh.
Yeah, I know. And so Meredith talks about that she didn't actually take the post down at first, that she questioned it first and was berated by the public, and that's why she took it down. And, I don't think that's fair. I think, if she didn't hear it and she wanted to do, because I think what the tweet said or whatever was like, well, let me look into it or something. And then when she found out that it was in fact true, she took it down. So
yeah, and then Meredith goes on national television and calls her anti-Semitic, which is absolutely disgusting. And you know what? Let me tell you right now, I have been a defender of Meredith Marks for the whole time she's been on the show. I still do love Meredith Marks. I'm going to defend her a little bit in this next hour for sure. But let me tell you, she really lost me with that, because as a fellow Jew, I think that that's not a word that you throw around lightly, and people do deal with actual anti-Semitic issues. And I feel like her throwing that out as a try to deflect from answering questions is so disgusting and a slap in the face to people that actually are dealing with real anti-Semitic issues. And shame on her.
Agreed. I mean, completely agreed. It was gross. And the fact that she doubled down on it instead of saying, it was bad. At that point, Andy questioned her about, she was like, listen, it was just our relationship. She didn't like me in the beginning, or in the beginning. He was like, no. She was like, no, I threw Angie out of my bat mitzvah for her and blah, blah, blah. Well, she did. And then she was like, and then she started to talk behind my back and lie on me or whatever. And Andy was just like, all right, listen, maybe she doesn't like you. You clearly don't like her. Like, in other words, can we just call it that and be done? Maybe you just don't like each other. Like, let's don't do deflammatory things. Let's just be like, I just really don't care for the girl. You know what I mean?
Which is fine. You're not going to like everybody you meet.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so, and then at this point, they get back on the plane ride. And y'all, I was like, again? And it was a whole segment again. And I'm thinking, and we still got nothing except for like one tiny little thing. But I mean, we already knew that. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the major takeaway though is that these ladies, I feel like their timeline doesn't add up. So I've said from the get, I think this is like a contrived takedown, thanks to producer Heather Gay. Because when he asked, well, why did no one switch seats with her? Why did blah blah whatever? And they're like, oh well, you know, the seatbelt sign was on. We had started like the descent.
Listen.
You all said this went on for hours and hours and hours and blah blah blah. But now you didn't want to switch seats because the seatbelt sign was on because you were descending. I have been on many a flight. I have never descended in anywhere I've been for hours.
No.
That's like not a thing.
No, it is not. Absolutely
so
not.
If this braiding went on for hours and hours and hours, and he asked, why didn't anybody switch seats with her? You would have had an actual reason, not the plane was descending. The seatbelt sign was on. Well, that's maybe what, 30 minutes?
Yep.
Like, what are you all talking about? Another flaw in their contrived plan, the same way that I still hold that Lisa Barlow Instagram thing was a major flub on their part.
Agreed.
Even at the bottom, it said continue as Whitney Rose. So you typed in Lisa's number. You all know Lisa's number. That was not like a big like reveal. You guys screwed up again.
I agree.
In my opinion.
No, I mean, you had a point. I mean, if y'all go check out our recap from last week, Joey pulls out the phone and demonstrates. I mean, listen, it can be done. So I mean,
I've seen other like influencers point it out too, where they've gone through and done it on like a live or on TikTok or whatever. Like when you hit forgot account, it prompts you to put in your phone number. When you put in your phone number, it texts you and tells you it sent you a text. If you say do it by username, which we all saw Whitney Rose at the bottom, it then sends you an email. So there's no way for it to text a number unless you put the number in. You guys really, Heather Gay, you're not that smart, babe.
Clearly not. No. At this point, Andy talks, gets Mary. He was saying that, when Mary talked to her, he was like, that's when a lot of people kind of got in line with it. And I'll agree, because that's where I kind of wondered, like, I just didn't feel like she would hop on that bandwagon. And so that's where I was confused by the story, because I don't understand Mary's piece in it. Like, I don't know why she would have, you know what I mean? I'm not saying she's above it, but...
No. And I don't think that she has an issue with Meredith, really. I don't think that they're, like, feuding. I just don't like that.
I don't either. But Mary was saying that, listen, can you just admit that you were really angry before we got on the plane? Like, you were venting to Lisa, you were venting to me. And y'all, by about this time, before we could get anywhere, Brittany comes back on stage with a cup of coffee. And y'all, this is where
social cues per usual.
None. And this is where she constantly goes wrong. It was like, we were all feeling for you, Brittany. Then you come back and you're like, you know what? I was backstage crying profusely. And now I'm back. I have apologized to you. And who was she telling to shut up? I was like, was she talking to Meredith?
I thought she was talking to Mary. And I gasped because Mary was the one talking, right? Like, it wasn't anyone else. Mary was talking.
I think my brain
interrupted. And I don't know if someone rolled their eyes. I don't know what happened, but I was like, well, the only person talking was Mary. And I know you were not talking to Mary like that, because she will eat you.
A lot. I was like, because I was like, my brain wouldn't let it go there. I was like, she couldn't have been talking to Mary. Maybe she thought Meredith's mouth was moving or somebody. Listen, y'all, she sure enough said, shut up. And I've already apologized, moving on. And child, nobody even cared. Andy was like, well, we were getting somewhere with Mary and Meredith. And Andy was like,
ma'am, take your coffee and bounce.
Right? I was like, girl, swat on, get, sit down. And per usual, she gets swatted away again. I mean, like, but she does it to herself, y'all. She does. She had a moment that she could have just, been let us, feel for her for a little bit. Meredith was not in her best light, and then you come out and look stupid, and now you're like non-factor again, and we don't care.
Yep,
So, right. And so Mary does remind Meredith that there were a lot of things that she vented to Lisa about, but there were things that she vented to her about, like I said. And she was like, please don't say that you didn't do that when you did. And like she was just trying to get Meredith to admit to something. Here comes Heather again. This is what you do. Because Meredith admits that she did vent to Lisa and that she's always said that. She's never denied that before she got on. She vented to Lisa and that she was angry. And Heather's like, this is what you did. And you stick to your story. You stick to the story. She was just like, girl, ain't nobody talking to you.
But I will say, Meredith, she is good with them words.
It's off the mic. Well, I know, Heather, are you trying to like sabotage me?
She is good with them words though, because she doesn't let these women shake her. And again, right? Like everything that she actually said, I was like, even though I don't really necessarily agree with you, like maybe like all like the way, but like it's facts. She's never said nothing happened on the plane. She's never said that. Nope.
Oh, she's just always been consistent. So I mean, her story's never changed. So y'all, basically, at this point, they're asking questions like, sorry, I'm trying to get my notes out. So Lisa jumps in to defend Meredith, and but my thing was, we're back on the yacht now, and I'm like, I think your heart was in the right place, Lisa, but girl, it's not about you. You know what I mean?
No, but I get like the connection she was trying to make, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no, maybe no. You don't agree?
No, I mean, yes, she's like she was trying to get back on making the point that, she wasn't the leak, and, Heather put her on the spot, and she was like, I was so upset. If I could have swam to shore, I would have. And, it was all about Lisa. And then because Heather's like, no, I didn't accuse you of anything you didn't do. I accused you, they went back and forth again, and it went back to that. And it's like, now you had your segment, ma'am.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
Like she didn't make it like about herself, even though she was like trying to be like relatable.
And you know what? Maybe that's the best she could do, maybe. You know what I mean? That's the best she could support Meredith, by making it a little bit about her and then throwing in there, I empathize with Meredith because that's how I felt. Okay. At any rate, then Andy turns the tides over to Whitney for calling Meredith a pill popper and alcoholic, which, again, Joey, I thought about it because I remember when it happened. I thought, it didn't hit the same until he brought it up again. I thought, that was crazy. I mean,
crazy on national television. And she's lucky that Meredith honestly remained as calm as she did, because certain people would have completely lost their mind. And this is where I always wonder about like what their contracts say about like lawsuits, because like couldn't be me. I would sue the living hell out of Whitney Rose.
You aren't kidding. I mean, really? To just throw that out there like that? I mean, and she admitted that she did it out of frustration because Meredith kept calling her a liar. Well, honey, to say you're lying, okay, that's one thing. To call someone a pill popper or an alcoholic, that's a whole nother thing. I mean, this woman has businesses. She's an attorney. Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And then, y'all, Meredith even lets out that the times that she has popped the pill.
I love this part.
Didn't you, though? It came from either Heather or Whitney, ma'am. And for them to give her a sleeping pill, I mean, They gave her a Xanax before.
Heather goes, and I quote, "I've given you lots of pills during our friendship."
Oh no!
I'm sorry. What did you just say? So
Joey.
nonchalantly on national television?
Joey, I know.
Like, I haven't done like my research, I'll be honest, but like I'm pretty sure that is against like the law.
It absolutely is. You're not supposed to share your prescribed medicine with other people. What if she had a reaction?
Right, and you just nonchalantly, "I've given you lots of pills during our friendship."
Listen.
And what kills me is they didn't edit it out. They
sure
during
did.
the editing, they put that in the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
And you know, I hope that one comes back to bite her in the ass.
I do too. Because
people online were like, you own a med spa and all this stuff. You have to have certain like not certificates, but like
licenses?
Yeah. You have to have certain licenses and certifications. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, girl, what, you on national television? I've given you lots of pills over our friendship.
Ooh-wee. I was like, oh ma'am.
I really hope that we revisit that one at some point in time.
You think? I was like, wow. Yeah. Whitney tries to apologize. And then, you know, Meredith's like, do you think I have a problem? Whitney's like, no, I don't. And like I said, that's what Meredith divulges, quite frankly, you know, the pills have come from them. So, and she says that, you know, out of them, she's one of the least, she probably is one that drinks the least out of them. I mean, every episode on a cast trip, Heather Gay has been lit. And
her, Brittany and Whitney,
lit. And then, you know, Whitney has to admit how bad off she was at BravoCon. I mean, come on now, you know, so it like stripped their credibility right on away. And I was like, okay, good for you. They do want to know, like, okay, well, that was the only way that we could explain, like, why you didn't know what happened at the end of Crazy Rich Asians. And she said she went to sleep. I mean, child, at this point, we have no footage, no audio, no nothing. It's her word against theirs. And at this point, I think all of us are kind of over it.
Yeah, I'm definitely over it.
Yeah, so there's that. What is so crazy, though, to me, Andy was just about to wrap up the whole plane fiasco, and here comes Angie.
I'm so happy you're bringing this one up, too.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, Angie? And she was just like, well, first of all, she was like, Brittany was way worse than she was here. And if you had done that to me, there would have been an air marshal waiting for you when we got off the plane. And I thought, ma'am.
Yeah. So that's not how it works.
No.
Flight attendants don't base, if they're going to call the air marshal or not, based on passengers and their feelings.
Right.
Which still brings me back to my original thought where I was like, it couldn't have possibly been as bad as they're saying, because there would have been air marshals waiting at the gate.
Absolutely.
We see it time and time again. No one even said that Portia's post BravoCon issue was even like that big of a thing, and there were air marshals waiting at the gate for her.
Right. And that was just a little back and forth verbal thing.
Right.
That wasn't even that big of a deal. I mean,
right.
And so, girl, if it was all that, now that's what I'm saying. So it just, their story, sadly, there was no credibility. Do I think that Meredith was in a rage? Yes. And I mean,
seen her in a rage a million times. We know exactly what happened on that plane, if we're being honest.
Sure. And I think that may be where Mary was coming from. Like, girl, you were like in blind rage mode. Maybe you don't remember what you said because you were so mad. Possible, because Brittany is extremely annoying. And probably the more that she stewed on it, she was just like, you know, how dare you? You know, and like I said, not there, haven't seen audio, video, or audio, video, none of that. But I'm sure she was angry with Brittany.
It goes back to, if you guys all follow your own rules and don't talk about each other's husbands, none of this would be an issue.
Absolutely. So the next scene, Andy gives the ladies a compliment saying that, he applauds them for all being so transparent and raw, sharing so much, which is why their show is such a success. And he compliments them all and tells them they are all actually really good mothers, which I thought was really sweet, which he doesn't do for all the housewives. He does not.
No, definitely.
No. And so everybody gets a chance to say a little something. Whitney shares that he asked about her business or whatever. I guess at one point, she had to fight for it or whatever, but now she's the sole owner of Wild Rose Beauty. And he asked her if she harbors any resentment to Justin, and she paused for quite a bit. I was like, girl, if you do, say you do.
Yeah. I mean, we'll obviously talk more about Whitney later with like the Bronwyn thing, but I have my thoughts and feelings about Miss Whitney Rose as well. I find it very funny that she can just make like little comments and it's okay for her to hold back and not be fully transparent. But as we know, this cast holds different people to different standards. So
that is true. That is true. So then Meredith gives Andy asks if Chloe is still working with her, and Chloe is her daughter, and Brooks on a limited basis because Brooks is booked and busy, honey. So there was that. Heather, of course, here she goes again about being an empty nester. Whew, child.
Heather said that she feels like her life was ending because her daughters were coming home for winter break.
I can't, y'all. If I was one of her daughters, my feelings would be so hurt. Good gracious.
It wasn't enough that you spent all season talking about how you can't wait to get them all out of the house and like bon voyage, and now Andy gives you a compliment. You guys are all great mothers, and your response is, "I've been enjoying my time away, but whatever did I felt like my life was ending when they called so they were coming home from winter break." What is happening?
I do not know. I just don't know. I mean, I just want to give her like, girl, no ma'am. But hey, that's your thing. And Angie's update is basically about Electra, saying that she is willing to somewhat explore her Greek roots, but right now she's more into her horseback riding, so she's fine with her being part Greek and part cowgirl. So nothing really much about herself, about Electra. Brittany was asked about the fact that she brought her daughters to BravoCon, but she also brought Jared.
Why not?
I know, but you know what? I mean, and I feel like she wants to make strides with her daughters, but that women like that really get on my nerves. It's like you can't put them first for anything. I mean, and of course, Jared was going to want to come to BravoCon. There's probably no way he would have flew himself out there. He'd have gone regardless. I mean, so let's be clear. You know what I mean?
For his own room and board. Yep.
Oh yeah, whether she bought him or not, he would have been coming. But well, I just I hate that for her. She has really at least a daughter that we got to see on screen, really a mature and well-rounded young woman that seems to have a lot more maturity than she does, which means she at some point had to have done something right, unless they have just a really wonderful dad that's, what I mean? I don't know, but I hate that for her. I hate that that's her thing. But so that was that. Then we get into Lisa's marriage struggles. And it was so funny because they were talking about how, it seemed like John was trying to embarrass her this season. And to me, I took it as John was finally finding his voice this season. You know what I mean? What were your takes, Joey?
I mean, I see like both sides, so I feel like, yeah, like what we saw from like their one-on-one combos was like real and raw, and that is the point of being on a reality show. So I agree with all of her castmates when they were saying stuff like that. But at the same time, I understand like what she's saying, right? Like your
Yeah.
partner of all people is the one that's supposed to back you up. Which I mean, we talked about this many a time across many different things, even when it came to like best friendships.
Yeah.
But especially you back that person up publicly, and then on the side be like, "Yo," you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I understand like what she's saying at the same time, like to say those things to her maybe for like the first time like that, who knows? I'm sure he's been trying to communicate it, but we know that my girl Lisa is not always the best at listening.
No. No.
So I understand how she felt too, you know. I don't know. I struggle. I feel bad for her because to me, she brought up a really good point. If I'm such a bad listener, how do my kids have everything that they need? How did my
Yeah.
son get his care packages?
Yeah.
Why does John's life run flawlessly? All of his clothes are cleaned and hung up and blah blah.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. I struggle, and I will admit, like, yes, maybe I am a little blinded because I do really like Lisa, which I know isn't a popular opinion, but I see both sides. I do.
I do, but I also, when I looked at it, I saw a man that was trying to let her know that, like literally that he didn't feel heard. I mean, he kept saying things and she was proving his point. Lisa is, she does, there's nothing in me that would think that, there's not love, that she absolutely adores John. And she's right. She does everything she can to protect John on the show. She cannot stand when someone says something about John. The fact that, he did kind of berate her a little bit, but I felt like it was kind of his get back. Lisa can be self-absorbed, not listening. He was
I don't
just
feel like he was berating her though. Do you? I mean, I feel like he was just trying to like be honest about how he felt.
well, yeah. And I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and she just didn't seem to be taking it in or was talking over him and wouldn't even let him talk, which she does, period. But and one thing about him, and granted, yes, she's the Bravo Leb and whatever, but we watched him when we were at BravoCon. She was over there doing her Wendy stuff. She had all this following. John politely stood off to the side. He was like appreciative of anybody who recognized even who he was. He was very humble. It was Lisa's show, and he let Lisa have it. Lisa, he lets her do her thing. I watched it. Very humble guy. Be like somebody you feel like you've known your whole life. Meanwhile, she's got these big glasses on. She's like, entourage. You know what I mean? And sometimes, maybe he feels like, when I'm trying to say something, give me my respect. And, not that she doesn't, but I don't know. I saw it a different way. I kind of felt for him because Lisa can be a lot. And I just felt he was expressing himself and she wasn't really receiving it well, which she doesn't receive criticism well anyway. She can't
No,
take
not her strong suit.
No. And for her to say that when she saw it, she cried for 2 days, and I know it hurt. I'm sure it hurt. But when she was in the moment, had she been listening, they could have had a good, two-way conversation, which, when we get to the end, that becomes her revelation. And I hope that's the case because I definitely think I think they have a loving marriage. They love each other. That's clear. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, and then that's when Mary said, look, if your husband keeps telling you you don't listen, then you don't listen. That was her little 2 cents. But at this point, we finally, y'all, get to hear from Bronwyn.
Yeah, she finally spoke after being mute during episode 2.
I know. But you know what, Joey? I started thinking. So after watching last night's episode, and then I rewatched some today on Peacock. Think about what she's been through since filming. Her father's passed away. her mother was pissed at her because of the way that she acted, and somehow she blamed Bronwyn for the public's outrage at the way that she treated Bronwyn. And then her and Todd separated. So that's a lot of things to sit with. And even though one would think that Bronwyn, is that girl that snappy, you just didn't see any of that. Even when she went back and forth a little bit with Meredith, it's not those zingers, that quick, that read, that she didn't have. She was very shut down, and she seemed very sad. So I just felt like, sadly, her reunion performance was thwarted by all of the emotional things that she had been through.
I mean, that's like totally a fair assessment. I don't know. I feel like other Bravo Lebs over like the years have been through tumultuous situations. And I mean, part of like the job is showing up, right? And I can't think of a single time where I sat in especially first chair.
I know, that was what made it bad.
Whole part silent.
Nothing. I know. I don't think I've ever watched one where that has ever happened. And I mean, to be fair, there wasn't like Andy had not directed anything towards her per se.
Fair.
So it would have been her having to jump in there. Because he really spent a lot of time on Meredith. So there's that. But at this point, we find out, like I said, that, her father had passed away. We find out that her mother, how, she reacted to the public's reaction to how she was on the show, how she treated Brahma on the show. True to form, she ended up taking it out on Bronwyn, which is a shame.
I said though, like blaming Bronwyn for the public's reaction to how you acted very much to me falls in line with the person that we saw.
Very much does. But I will give Bronwyn still a ton of credit because she gives her mother like so much grace. And there's something that she said last night that resonated. I thought, she said that her mother sometimes would come across that way or act that way because of the fact that, because one of them asked her, do you think it's because you're not Mormon? And she said, I think so. And she said, because she wants it known, because she wants to be portrayed as a good Mormon, that in no way did she condone what Bronwyn did. And so every chance that she gets when Bronwyn brings up the past, she, you know what I mean? And I thought, that makes sense. And it's a shame that you would put your status of, how you are perceived in a church or religion over how you treat your daughter.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people, that's their thing. You know what I mean? That means more to them, or I'm not going to say it means more to her, but the way it looks.
It's how it comes off.
And so then when we get into about Todd, Bronwyn's like, do you want me to dial back? Because they did a montage before we even got to it. You got to see, all of the scenes with her and Muzzy, and then, the whole infamous Todd taking the cherry, and, him not giving her eye contact when they talked, when she brought up the conversation that her and Whitney had, and all the things. As if we weren't there, we saw it. But she leads with Andy saying that they're separated. And we find out that it was her choice. And I don't know, Joey, what were your thoughts? Because I felt like she seems done.
Yeah. To me, it seemed like this wasn't the first time she had thought about it, if I'm being honest.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I think that we see this happen a lot in like the reality TV worlds, where you come on like the show, and then when you like watch it back, especially, and you're like, wow, because for some reason the way that reality TV works, it targets the cracks. It targets the skeletons in like her closet. It targets like everything like negative. So I feel, and I mean, we've seen over the years a ton of divorces. I mean, God, look at Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills, we ain't got one housewife on there.
I know.
You know, besides maybe that Amanda girl, but I don't consider her. I
Yeah,
don't like her. Anyway.
yeah.
So like it didn't really surprise me, and I feel like it's not something that she hadn't felt before. I just think that the show, you know, brought it to the surface, made her finally face it. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like permanent, you know?
I wouldn't either. I thought it was interesting how she said that Todd went back and watched himself
every season, though. He started at season 1.
I know.
So he watched every episode. He got on Reddit and read everything that his name was mentioned in. He got an Instagram. He got a Twitter and read and saw the memes. Like he like fully immersed himself, and then called her and was like, he was like a shell of a human.
Yeah. I mean, but I mean, it's fair. Like, you know, sometimes that's the part of being on these shows is you get to look at yourself and self-reflect, and you can either grow from it and become better, or, you know, or not, you know. And
yeah, what I did find was interesting though was when she talked about the living situation, and she was like, you know, I'm in Salt Lake City, he's here in like New York, and Andy said, do you plan on seeing him while you're here shooting the reunion? And she said no.
She did. She sure did.
I thought that was wild, honestly.
She sure did. And quite frankly, that's when I started thinking, dang, she's done, because you could even look at Annie's face with like a little confusion, like, and the ladies were like, you know, because at the point where if he went back and watched all of that and, you know, called her in a dark place, probably extremely remorseful, and it's still not moving her.
Good point, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Not even enough to like see him in person while you're in New York?
I know. Grab a dinner or something? No.
Something. Meet him on a street corner and have a conversation. I don't know. I mean, my
right. God. I know. I thought, oh, that's rough. Yeah. And when, you know, Andy asked her, did he think it was a show that caused a separation? And she said no, but it definitely accelerated some of their issues. And, you know, she found herself in a position of always defending Todd. And listen, I've been there in my first marriage. It gets exhausting. You know, you overcompensate, you defend, you know, and because she said even the conversation that she had with Whitney that she brought to Todd when she was saying, listen, if you want to try new things or you want to be open, you know, she was saying that really wasn't where she was. I don't know if I believe that. But I get it. She was willing at that point. At least if she could have got him to agree, then she wouldn't look so crazy when he was caught in them streets. Like, oh, we have an open marriage. You know what I mean?
True.
I think she was trying something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Here's what then got so freaking annoying. Whitney supposedly is so triggered by Bronwyn's story.
Continue, because I just honestly, I couldn't care less about Whitney, if I'm being honest.
I know. And yeah, she actually gets upset and she leaves the stage. And she's like, I need to see Justin. And she goes in the back, and Justin's in the back, and, you know, he's hugging her. She's crying, and he's like constantly reassuring her, oh, you know, we're good. You know, I just found out that Brahman and Todd are separated. And, but I found it interesting that though Justin was trying to reassure her, she kept kind of rebutting, like, I don't know, we'll see, or I'm doing the best, you know, because she was saying that she asked Bronwyn, are you loving like when you speak to Todd? And Bronwyn was like, nope. And from Whitney's perspective, she's like the Todd. She says she's the one that always F's up. I got to get your thoughts, Joey.
So I'm just like annoyed about like the whole thing, because I always talk about, especially Salt Lake City, we have like different rules for different folks, right? So we have watched the second half of or the better part of the second half of the season. These women just full-fledged on a Meredith attack. You know, about her marriage, you know, and Whitney of all people, it's about being honest. Shut up, Kyle Richards. Like, we get it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so you attack Meredith because you feel like she's not being honest enough, but now you allow Whitney to like do this like breadcrumb thing at like, the reunion where like you're saying stuff, but you're really like not saying anything, and you're like blah blah. And for some reason though, it's okay. And we feel bad for Whitney, and Heather, like the look in her face, like, oh my God, I can't believe we're talking about this. Like, but
I know.
But it's not okay for Meredith to
Nope.
breadcrumb or to not give her full whatever, or whatever you think is the full story. I don't like it. I'm not buying into it. I think it's bullcrap. I think Whitney, if you don't want to talk about it, then you better get your foot off Meredith's neck about her marriage. Like, I mean, the rules should be the same for everybody, and they never are in Salt Lake, and it drives me bonkers. I think the interaction between her and Justin was super weird because, like you were saying, he was like being like really positive and reassuring. She's like, "No, we have to be negative." Like, I don't understand. Like, what? Like, I don't understand.
I know. I felt like it was for a moment.
Because think about it, really, what did Whitney contribute to this reunion? Not a whole hell of a lot.
Not a lot. No, not a lot. Same. I mean, she didn't have a storyline either.
No, so her and Heather are really just like, I feel like grasping at anything because I'll tell you right now, social media really not on their side, the two of them.
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, I was just like, that was so dumb. And to me, disrespectful to the moment. It was Brahman's moment.
Yep.
She was talking about, you know, what was going on with her and Todd, and for Whitney to make it about her, and then the, you know, camera follow her to the back, that weird exchange with her and Justin, and then she comes back, and what was that even for? It was just
stupid. No one knows. It was stupid. It
was so stupid. So then we get into Bronwyn and Meredith. You know, Bronwyn finally has her say with Meredith, which that's why they're in the two first chairs. Basically, she tells Meredith that she feels like, you know, that she avoids accountability on camera, that she would try to have these conversations with Bronwyn off camera, or that even at times when she was like, she would cover her mouth and say things like, I'm like, wow, really? And, you know, she was saying, you know, look, she felt very used by Meredith. But here's my thing. Okay, so Meredith would meet with her, or she would meet with Meredith, and she would tell Meredith what people were saying. And yes, Meredith would blow her spot up. However, Joey, she had to tell her
the whole time. And like, I'm not like discrediting that. I have no doubt that Meredith tries to make moves off camera. I mean, let's be honest. But at the end of the day, you're the one feeding her information over and over and over and over again, and then coming up with, you know, the good old, my hands are clean, like, not me. Like, girl, what?
That's what I'm saying. I love Bronwyn down, but I mean, girl, you did a lot of it. You were running your mouth. And I know because she felt like she thought that which, you know, she wants to be friends with Meredith. She thinks they have some things in common. She wants to be friends. And, but look, if that's what you do, then you got to stand in it. If you told her and she blows your spot up, yep, I said it. I felt she should know. You know what I mean? Not acting like you're the victim, like she played you. No, she asked you, just like I would. If I wanted to know what somebody said about me. Now, Meredith played herself about that lunch thing. Like, I just want to know.
She did, but at the same time, like, you guys have talked about her nonstop.
Yeah.
We went to lunch together. She already knew you were talking about her. So, like, damn well, I would have asked the same question. Would you guys talk about me again at lunch? What the hell did you guys talk about this time? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think it was, like, that big of a deal.
It wasn't.
That they, like, blew up into this, like, big thing.
It wasn't.
But what I want to get to real quick is the production comments.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't even know how we got there. Meredith had an issue with something, and Andy was like, oh, about production, blah, blah. And then everyone like lost their mind. Once again, we see different rules for different folks, which drives me bonkers. So the entire cast can attack Meredith for having a feeling about production and how she was being portrayed, which I'm sorry, this is the Real Housewives. We've been through, what did they say, like 100 seasons or some bull crap or whatever. I mean, like, we have seen Housewives talk about production for 20 plus like years, okay?
Absolutely.
We talk about their edits. We talk about all the behind the scenes stuff, whatever. Everyone attacks Meredith. Mary's crying. Whitney's so angry. Oh, blah, blah. Oh. Heather, our girlfriend Heather, can lie and say that maybe production gave her the black eye.
Right.
And
right.
No one batted an eyelash. I will never get over it, because as long as I am breathing, I will bring up the black eye. I will bring up Heather Gay being a liar. I will bring up different rules for different folks. I don't understand it. If I was Meredith in that moment, I would have jumped off the couch, pointed in Heather's face, and said, you're going to attack me about the way I feel about production, but this, by the way, her chin is growing by the minute.
Is it not? Oh my gosh.
She is the chin Pinocchio.
She is. That side profile.
Every time the camera pans to her chin got like longer.
Ooh.
But she can lie about production possibly assaulting her, and no one here has an issue. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable, Joey.
It's unbelievable.
You're right. You are so right. And you know what? I didn't even think about that. But I'm like, good gracious.
My head was like spinning. I was like, these people cannot be for real. Like, I feel at the end of the day, this 3-part reunion, the big takeaway for me is you guys are so stupid that, I mean, Heather Gay needs to like call Margaret Josephs and get some of her tips and tricks and whatever, because this is like not it. You guys sold yourself out so hard. This was so obviously a behind the scenes contrived plan of a takedown of Meredith and Lisa. It's unbelievable. And they fumbled their entire way through 3 parts. Different rules, different folks, lied their asses off. I just think it is an abomination to Housewives fans across the board. And I know I'm going to get hate for it. And I honestly don't even care.
No, I mean, honestly, you're right. I mean, it flopped. I mean, Lisa and Meredith held their own. Stories didn't change. They stood on what they believed that it was and what it wasn't, and was not going to take accountability for things they felt like they didn't do. I mean, and what else could you say on that? I mean, zilch. And she also talks to Brahman about spreading the rumors about Seth, and she said, I didn't spread the rumors, but meanwhile, you're okay with everybody's okay with talking about my marriage. And Meredith was like, when have I ever said anything? And she was like, well, but you're okay with your bestie over here doing it. And Meredith was like, honey, you were holding your own. What do you want me to do?
And now you're mad at Meredith because Lisa talked about your marriage. Another moment that absolutely lost me, because Bronwyn, girl, you spoke about her marriage. And when she said, when have I ever talked about your marriage? Bronwyn had nothing to say, because Meredith has never talked about her and Todd like that. At least not on camera.
Nope. So therefore, there you have it. So again,
maybe it's because Meredith moves behind the scenes, which we know, which is fine. But I mean, then Bronwyn could have said that. But you talk about him when there's no cameras around. No, what you said was, but you didn't do anything when she was talking about. You're mad at Meredith because Lisa's talking about your marriage? Yell at Lisa.
And which she did. That's why Meredith's point was, you're fully capable of taking care of yourself. You and Lisa went at it. I mean, what do you want me to do?
You and Lisa went at it all season. You seem to be doing just fine against her.
Right. So.
But again, if Meredith said something to Lisa, I mean, we just know it wouldn't have gone well. And they are on their own island. They have to stick by each other,
Right. You're so right. Well, Meredith ends up apologizing, and Bronwyn accepts. And so we then can't get off Meredith's neck just yet because they go next to the Mother's Day incident, which is where the production comment came in. After they claim she had a fake emergency call, and that's when she blamed production. And they all fall out behind that. It's when she talked to Brooks, and everybody was like, we all wanted to talk to our children. It was Mother's Day. We were all whatever.
Did
we were
any of your children's call you?
Nope, sure didn't. Sure
Right.
didn't. And Meredith was like, listen, when I got the phone, we could have got back to it. You could have brought it back up. And they were like, I was just like, y'all tried it.
Listen. I mean, and I said this during the episode, how dare Brooks call his mother on Mother's Day? The nerve.
Right? It was, yeah.
I would love for them to try like that crap in like Jersey.
Oh, they would get ate up and spit
telling
out.
Like Teresa or Melissa to get off
Not
the phone
to answer
with their child on Mother's Day. Can you imagine either of them?
No.
Dolores, can you imagine?
No. They don't play about their babies, honey.
No, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you're right. You're right. I mean, at this point, we talk a little bit about Angie and Lisa. Andy asked her what made her ask the woman in Greece to write the Greek play. And she said, I wanted everyone to see themselves through friends' eyes. He talked about Lisa and Meredith had, the bigger response, all of that. And then we talk about how they had seen Lisa and Angie at that point seemed to have made some strides to yet again make amends. And he was like, so where does that stand now? And Lisa was like, well, I thought we were good, to the point that she said that I think they were at Us Weekly together or whatever. Lisa had been asked questions about Angie. She claimed she didn't say anything bad or wouldn't say anything bad. However, when Angie was asked questions in interviews, would say things about Lisa. Okay.
I don't know. This one hurts me because I do believe that Lisa does consider Angie a true friend.
I know.
I feel like Lisa has a lot of acquaintances. Lisa has a lot of surface level friendships. But when she was like, we talk about religion and God and our families and kids and blah, 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 and business. And I was like, all right, so that's like, you obviously do consider her a really good friend. And I know I'm not blind. Lisa can be an exhausting one-sided friend. I'm very aware. But for Angie to align with these like mean girls and then try to play the victim, like, you're not a good friend to me, Lisa. Like, I mean, maybe Lisa's like not a good friend. I don't like it though. I don't like it at all.
I don't like it either. And I don't know. I just, after this season, Angie's my girl. She's going to be my girl. But there were some things I saw. I'm like, girl, you need to get on the right side of right.
She had a very lackluster season, though, compared to previous.
Agreed. And even with this reunion, she didn't have a lot going on either.
No, I mean, to be honest, part 3, she took the Bronwyn seat and hardly spoke.
She did, right. I mean, what else could she say? I mean, literally.
I feel like Brittany had more storylines than Angie had this season.
Mm-hmm. I know. And you would have thought, them going to Greece was her big moment, but that was a massive flop. So
I know. I feel bad. I really actually feel bad for her about that one. It was a massive flop.
Massive flop. I was so ready for them to leave Greece. I was like, we're in Greece still. We're still in Greece. We're still here. Like, good gracious.
I know.
But at this point, y'all, pretty much Lisa and Angie agree they both want to move forward yet again, and we shall see how long it lasts. And
remind me not to hold my breath.
Please don't, Joey, because I need you here. So then we get ready to wrap it up. And each lady takes a turn offering their thoughtful reflections. Mary says she's learned the importance of self-reflection. Brittany shares she's gained a lesson in patience and focusing on what's truly important. Like, it should be her daughters, hopefully. Angie learned about acceptance, especially regarding her child. Meredith says she's learned the importance of clear communication, even if your voice does not always get heard. Heather, oh, I wish they had skipped her. Oh, she went into this whole soliloquy of friendships, and I love these women, child. I'm just gonna skip that because y'all listen. She couldn't just say something simple.
I can't stand her, so we can skip her.
Yeah. Bronwyn shares that she's learned change can be a good thing, and it has to start from within. I love that.
Yeah, Bronwyn was my favorite. Continue on.
Yeah. And Lisa's was about intake. And she's like, Andy, you're going to love this. And she explains she's learned the value of both hearing and truly listening. And I hope so, Lisa.
But of course, we couldn't get it in without Heather being like, oh, I can't wait to see that in action. Shut up, Heather.
Oh, gross. I know. It's like so gross. Like, girl, please go away. I just, you and your chin.
Her and her chin. And Lisa Barlow lives rent-free in her mind, let me tell you.
Absolutely.
It brings me back to season 1. And I'm like, dude, like, Heather really has sweat Lisa since season 1.
For real, for real. Well, think about even in the reunion, how many times she's like, well, we're not friends anymore. We're not doing that. Well, I love you and we're still friends, but you this. And then, oh, we're not friends.
Yeah, yeah. What is it? You're not a close friend, but you're an important friend. What does that even mean?
I don't know. God. It's like she can't get off Lisa. I'm like, girl. At any rate, y'all, that's how it is. They do a toast with baklava and it's upa, and we are saying goodbye to season 6 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Adios. I'm exhausted. I could use a break.
Yeah. Yeah, toward the end, it was kind of like, all right, ladies, you weren't giving me a whole lot to, work with. I love you guys, but it just kind of fell flat. Wasn't your best season. Wasn't your worst.
It was not.
It wasn't your best. I hope we
I think that they're lucky that the other ones are sucking so bad that it makes them seem like really good.
Right. They came out the gate well, and so everybody was just looking at them as the Bravos, the Bravo stars, the Bravo whatever favorites. And then they kind of fell off. But you're right. The rest of the franchises are sucking so bad that they still look like superstars. So, I mean, it ain't hard to do. Beverly Hills still sucks. They claim it's going to change, child. We'll see. I wanted to talk to you, Joey, though, about Traitors before we get off here.
Yeah.
So, I'm so excited for this week. But,
so
okay.
Excited.
I know. So, okay. First of all, I wanted to know, and I know you saw where Traitors had put out a statement about like bullying and all of that, and some people assumed it was for Ron. And I don't
think it was for Ron.
It's for Colton?
Yeah. I think that the people loved Ron and are mad how he was treated.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Colton, and my thing, right, we talk about like production and we talk about the editing. The edit that Colton is getting is truly like a much bigger like discussion in my eyes, because number one, people were pissed off the rip when he got casted. And they're like, oh, we just out here casting like real life villains now, whatever, and then like he's getting this like good boy edit, and it's like, you're not fooling anyone, and now you're gonna come out and tell your viewers that they're not allowed to have their feelings and like opinions. Like, what?
Mm-hmm. He's a piece of work, y'all. I mean,
bro, his crazy eyes, he giving like Ramona Singer a run for her money.
Oh yeah, that showdown between him and Lisa Rinna. She was like, I'm not just a housewife, I'm Lisa effing Rinna. And I was like, hey.
And you know what? Anyone that knows me knows I hate Lisa Rinna. I hope we never see her at Beverly Hills again.
Same.
But you know what? She ate him up, spit out his bones, because, facts.
Facts on facts on facts. And y'all, so we know that this week there's going to be a killing in plain sight. Ciao, Joey. And, and spoiler alert, so if you're not caught up, you know, don't watch. But the fact that Lisa's going to take the brooch, and I am so excited to see how she's going to pull this off. Now,
I hope she just grabs Colton's hand and just shoves it on the
I know. But it's like strategy, because if she comes for him, it's going to make it look like he was right about her. But she's got to do it. She's got to get him out of there. I don't know. I am so captivated on figuring that out. What were you going to say?
But like, again, I feel like it doesn't even matter to me, because what matters to me is if Lisa and Colton can both go, for all I care.
Yeah.
What I do think is great is Rob, who anyone that again knows me knows I am a Rob hater from his like Love Island season. But boy, am I a Rob fan when it comes to the Traitors. He is playing the best game I think I've possibly seen since season 1. He wrote Lisa's name down. Yes, was the exact perfect move for a strategy for his game. Because if you wrote down Colton or Ron, it's going to look really weird. Why are you writing your friends down that you've all said nothing negative about? Right.
Right.
So people are already suspicious of Lisa. If she was voted out and she says, I'm a traitor, Rob is gravy in this game then, because
he is.
I voted for her before, I vote for her again. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Candace, you better get on board with our boy Rob, because
I know. And she clearly looked so disappointed when Rob did that. And I'm like, girl, you better fix your face. He is playing it right.
Talk about housewife crime, but I mean, at some point, you have to spare yourself, girl.
You do. And it's got to get to that point, because Lisa is, she's overly dramatic with the, really? Oh, so she's kind of telling on herself a little bit. And I'm not a Lisa Rinna fan, but like I said, I'd rather see Colton go before her, but I don't care if she goes. Like you said, they could both go. I don't care.
Bye.
Right. But yeah, I love Rob, and Rob is doing it right. I love his poker face. He is playing this game right. And yeah, it's good TV, y'all.
He was made for this game.
Oh my God. Who would have thought, right? You know what I mean?
But again, like he was so, I felt like awkward on like Love Island, right? So like, I feel like being naturally awkward is going to give you an advantage, especially if you're a traitor.
Yeah. So there's that. So guys, let us know your thoughts. Okay, so we have covered for you all some Real Housewives of Potomac. Let us know your favorite look and your least favorite look. What are you thinking about the reunion? Do you think Karen should be there? Give me your thoughts. What did you think about part 3 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion? Season 6 as a whole. Did you think it was strong? Did you think like we kind of felt like it started off strong and then kind of fell a little bit flat? And what are you thinking about Traitors? Okay, like are you agreeing Colton gotta go? Lisa can go. Rob is playing the game all the way right, and Candace better step it all the way up. You know what I'm saying?
All the way up.
Right. So y'all
I'll
give
be
us
so
thoughts.
mad if Candace like leaves. I love her.
Oh, I do too. I need her to stick around. I don't know if she's gonna win. I hope so, but I don't know. I'm thinking Rob is a contender. You know what I mean? I don't know that anybody else is on point enough yet. I don't know who else is like standing out per se. They seem off. Like they're way off.
It's a season where people are so strong in their convictions, and every time they're so wrong.
They're so wrong, right? And I don't feel like they vote people off for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? And so there's that too. But
well, I mean, this last episode, they all sat around, and when Ron was like, I'm just gonna say goodbye to everyone, like now and blah blah whatever, and they're all talking to each other, and they're all saying, he's not a traitor. He's not a traitor. And then y'all brought him out anyway.
It made no sense. Because he was so sincere. And I'm like, y'all, but listen, that's what keeps us tuning in. So, I mean, Y'all let us know what you think. Slide in our comments. Let us know. Joey, any final words before we say good night?
No, I got nothing. What do we have tomorrow? We have Beverly Hills, which is like honestly, it's like Ambien in show form, and we have the Traitors. Thank God, we do have the Valley Persian style. I'm still like loving it. I might just be biased because they are like my favorite humans on reality TV.
Love it too. Yeah.
And then like I'm confused though. So like on Sunday we get the Karen sit down, and then. Is that in lieu of the reunion starting?
That's what I was assuming, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless now it could be. I just don't see them doing. Well, they could do it the first hour, and then they could. I don't know, Joey.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I wouldn't be mad if they did that, but yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure.
We shall see.
We shall see. We shall be tuning in.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, again, like I said, if you haven't yet, please like the video. Make sure you leave us a comment and join us next week. And me and Joey are going to decide. Y'all slide in the comments, let us know. Do you want recaps of the Valley Persian style? We love to talk about reunions. So we could totally give you some Real Housewives of Potomac reunion recap too. So, I mean, let us know. Beverly Hills, if that's what y'all want. But
I mean, I'm watching it regardless. I'm
watching it. We can
now to stop.
We're right. We can also do Traitors. I mean, so slide in the comments. Let us know what you're feeling, what you'd like to see us recap, and we're gonna try to give you what you want. Okay. All right, guys. So y'all have a lovely evening. Go watch you some Bravo.
Bye.
Bye.